first you don't succeed, then try again. And that's the thing with inventing. Sometimes the first thing you come up with just doesn't work that well. So how do you deal with that?
There's a lot of inventors that have been very persistent and they have not taken no for an answer. And that, I think, is quite valuable because it might be that the world's not ready for something that you've thought up.
You have to be good at taking criticism, you have to be good at sort of accepting that you're not always right first time.
I think it's really important for inventors to sort of keep going, don't let anyone discourage you, use anything someone says positively and make it benefit you and help you.
It's by having a real passion and a determination, that's what gets you over the hurdles.
If you don't believe a bit like, oh, I'm going to fail, oh, I always fail, then you're determined to fail. If it doesn't work, then just change a bit and try again.
Inventor Dan Watson knows all about the value of persistence. He's been working on one invention for 3 years. It's called the escape ring. It's designed to fit into trawler nets and to stop fishermen catching fish before they're fully grown.
There are several problems that they have. So sometimes the nets don't catch the right fish, or they catch the small fish, which you don't want to catch because you can't keep them anyway.
Small fish can't escape the net because of what happens to the net underwater.
The meshes of the net close up, they get really tight when they're under tension.
Oh, so like when it's been pulled, you mean?
Absolutely, yeah. And the fish literally, it's really hard for them to actually get through and try and fit through the mesh. And the other problem is that sometimes fish don't know that they're actually in the trawl net because they can't see it because it's so dark down there.
But Dan's invention tackles both these problems.
It fits into the net and you can see that actually it holds the mesh really wide open. Another feature of the ring is that it also lights up and like an emergency exit, so they can really see it. So if I switch this on and then turn off the lights, you can see that actually it's quite well illuminated and they are able to see that.
Yeah.
And so they swim towards it and check it out.
And the fish can always come out because they can fit through.
Yep.
I like that. Surely this isn't your first attempt. Surely you had lots of prototypes before this.
I went through a lot of prototypes. For instance, I started making my rings and I made them out of what I thought was a very strong material, aluminium. It then turned out that when you put aluminium in the sea, it actually starts to erode, it starts to dissolve basically. So I couldn't use that material.
He tried lots of different materials and designs. He was able to keep making new versions of his escape ring using this amazing 3D printing machine.
So this is probably attempt number maybe 10, maybe 15. I mean, there's been a lot of them in the past. And I actually have some of them here which I can show you.
Dan went through all these different prototypes before it was right. His determination to overcome problems is impressive.
I think you have to believe in your ideas and you have to know that things are going to go wrong on the way. It happens to everybody. Whoever's making anything, big companies, individual people, they all make mistakes. But the really important thing to do is to learn from those mistakes and use it to your advantage, because if something goes wrong you might learn something completely new that no one's ever seen before, but only because you tried.
Dan's story shows how important persistence is for inventors. You've got to believe in your idea and be able to deal with setbacks. We've seen how inventors come up with great ideas, develop and test them, and keep going until their invention is perfected. And if you too think you can be an absolute genius, then here are a few top tips.
So if you can find a problem that everybody has and hasn't been solved, and you can think of a way of solving that, then you really are onto a winner.
Be creative and use your imagination.
Try to make your idea as soon as possible, even if it's just out of a bit of cardboard or plasticine.
Your invention has to work.
Go out and find people who can help you and simply ask them questions.
Take it seriously and keep on going no matter what.